Flosstube, it's Bernie here, hooking and stitching. Today is Tuesday the 23rd of April 2024 and I'm here for Flosstube number 38, which is quite surprising actually when I had a look and gosh, how have I got to 38? That's quite a lot of Flosstubes now. I'm quite proud of that. I should then lead on from that and say thank you to all my new subscribers that I've had recently. If this is your first time watching, I hope you enjoy what you see. I know that there has been, I think it was Mama Loves You GB, she's done some sort of conga line of UK floss tubers recently, and I know lots of people have been mentioned. I found some new people to follow myself, and I do believe some people have found me because of that post. So I just want to say big welcome to you all. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you like what I've got to show you. I've got a fair bit to show you today. I've got some whips, that's work in progress. I've got some crochet. I've got a new start, and I've got a little bit of haul as well. Not an awful lot. I'm a bit disappointed actually. I was expecting some stuff through the post and the postman's been and it's not come, so that'll probably come tomorrow after I finish filming, which is a shame because it's some fabric for a potential new, well, it's potential fabric for a new start, so it would have been nice to show you guys that before I make a decision, but I don't think that's going to happen now. Not unless it comes through the door while I'm talking to you, but as I say, the postman's already been, so I can't see that happening. I've also got a bit of a life update, a bit of a big life update, but I will put that in at the end, because I know that's not what everybody wants to come here and watch for. You don't want to watch me waffle on about my life. And I've also got a Bailey update. Thank you so much to everybody that commented on my last video. Bailey had not long come out of the vets, and I will update you on how he's doing at the end as well, because again, this is a channel about cross stitch, not about my sick cat. But yes, I will update you guys. But a big thank you to everybody that commented. It really meant a lot that all of you cared, and it was so nice to read through the comments wishing him well, and I did tell him. So right, what have I got to show you today then? Right, I've got a couple of full coverages, some non-full coverage. So I've got a new start, one that I just couldn't resist. So I'm just going to sort of jump in and crack on with it and show you what we've been up to, and we can talk about what May's going to bring, can't we? Because it's already, well, there's a week of April left, isn't there? I'm filming today. I'm a bit rushed today, I must admit, and I do apologise if I look a bit tired. I've literally been on the go since 6 o'clock this morning, and this is the first time I've actually sat down properly. I mean, I sat down briefly, had a cup of tea and a slice of toast while the kids were getting ready for school, but otherwise I haven't sat down. Some of you, if you're regulars, you'll know Gizmo, my youngest ragdoll cat. He woke me up this morning at 5:45 wanting his breakfast. I mean, he's very sweet. He wakes me up very nicely. He purrs and he rubs his face in my face, and I can't be cross with him. I wake up smiling and I stroke him and then I look at the clock. So I was sort of in two minds. I can either battle and try and sleep for the next 45 minutes until my alarm goes off at 6:30, or I can get up now and get some of my jobs done. So I did. I got up, and the first thing I did was actually just chuck a hoodie on, and went out the door with my travel mug and sorted the horses out. They were quite surprised to see me. I was at the yard by 6:15 this morning, letting the horses out their stables, and they were a bit sort of like, wow, she's early. So normally when I let them out on a Tuesday morning, I do it after I've dropped the kids at school, so it's usually getting on for about 9:15 before I see them. So for them to see me at 6:15 was shocking. She's 3 hours early, but it did mean that I actually got home and was done and dusted and able to go and have a shower and everything before anybody else had even woken up. So I feel productive. I mean, I've already been to the supermarket, I've taken the kids to school, I've cleaned the house, I've done 2 loads of laundry, I've put all the food shopping away. I had to go back to the school because Aria forgot her forest school stuff, and anyway, I'm just explaining why I look so tired, because I just haven't sat down. It's not actually even lunchtime yet, but I'm ready for a sleep. But I I knew I was going to struggle to film next week, so I just sort of pushed off, no, you need to film today. I know there's a week left of April, but film it today and then I can come back mid-May. Because there's stuff happening at the beginning of May. So anyway, I'm still waffling. Let's crack on and show you the whips. So I'm going to start with the big one, because I've worked on the big one. So this is Time of Butterflies by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Irina Garmashova. I'll pop in a picture of what it looked like last time you guys saw it. And here it is now. Oh, I'm sorry, the lighting's changed. There we go, it's just warmed up again. So I've got the tip of the cat's ear. Can you see that there? Oh, I need two hands here, you see. So that is the tip of the cat's ear, which I've been absolutely itching to get to, and I hit it. So, yes. So last time you guys saw it, I just sort of filled in this butterfly. Oh no, I filled in the butterfly the time before, and then I filled in this bit here because I was a bit naughty and I skipped ahead and did the butterfly, and then I had to fill in this bit here. So then I've carried on and got the cat's ear in. So this is looking lovely. I'm really pleased with this at the moment. It's coming along so nicely. And I'm getting close to finishing that second row of 2, because this is being stitched on, it's 25 count, Easy Guide by Zweigart. And I'm doing it 1/1 full crosses, and I'm using the Royal Rose method of stitching. If you're not familiar with Royal Rose, she is available on YouTube and Instagram. The lady that, sorry, you can't even see me talking here. The lady that sort of invented this method. But the basics are, you start over here in the top left corner and you stitch 2 blocks of 10 going straight down. And then the idea is you park your threads below it. Well, I do it slightly differently. I stitch those 2 blocks, but my first priority is to park over this side, over to the right. I'm the wrong way around. So over to the right, I try and park. And if there's nothing over to the right where I can park it, I will then park it below. But you do, so I would start over here and do the first, we call it a tower. The first tower of 200 stitches, then move on to the next tower and the next and the next. And then you go all the way to the end of your project, as you can see, and then you come back down here and you start again. And you'll have threads parked from the row above. The only time you can't park to the side is obviously in that very last tower there, because there's nothing over here, obviously. So then I park it down or I finish the thread. But yeah, it's looking absolutely beautiful. I should have had a look and seen what my stitch count is, but it's quite a lot. quite proud of that and the work that I've put into it. So yeah. And it's just starting to pop off the page. And yeah, seeing that cat's ear just made me so happy. Because when you're working in the background, I mean, yes, it's beautiful and there's some butterflies in it, but it's just background. I wanted to get to the cat. I wanted to put the start of that cat in there. And there are so many colours just in that ear alone, as you can imagine. But yeah, absolutely beautiful. Loving every minute of it. So yeah. And I spent, how many days working on that? 3 days, which included a weekend. So yeah, I had a Friday, Saturday, Sunday working on this one. So pop that down there. Ooh. Try not to knock my cup of tea over at the same time. I might actually pop it over there. Sorry, don't mean to shake you. Let's have a sip of my drink. Okay, makes sense to move on to show you the next full coverage piece I worked on. Although these are in no particular order, that Time of Butterflies wasn't the first thing I stitched on, it was just that the frame was so big at the side of me, I wanted to get it out of the way. So the next one that's a full coverage that, again, I worked on for 3 days is Ragdoll Eden by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is also by Irina Garmashova, because I absolutely love her pieces, as anybody that's been watching me for a while knows, because she does a lot of ragdoll cats. She did have her own ragdoll, but unfortunately he has passed. But he was the inspiration behind the big finish that I had, which is called My Darling. That was her boy, Mocha. And yeah, he's sadly no longer with us, but she loves her ragdoll cats. And so do I, which is why I stitch a lot of her work. Anyway, I'm waffling again, so let's show you how I got on with this one. So I'll pop in a picture of what it looked like last time you saw it. And here it is now. So you can see there, I've actually finished the page. It's tricky to see because it's a lot of white on white here, but that is a page finish. And then I took all the part threads, because I don't like the part threads anymore on this piece. The only piece I'm allowing part threads on is Time of Butterflies. Everything else is not allowed to have part threads anymore. So I've stitched them all in, except for that last one, because there's a thread attached, as you can see. But yeah, there's well over 1,000 stitches worth of part threads moved in. For some reason, I cut the lengths of thread really long for this, which is quite surprising for me, because again, this is 25 count 1/1. And normally I would use, well, I always use a length sort of from my fingertips to my elbows, so about 2 foot long. And I double that when I'm stitching 2 over something, because I do the loop start, so you fold it in half and it's doubled. But when I'm stitching 1/1 or 1 over whatever, I halve that amount, so I just go fingertip to elbow, and that's my length of thread. But for this one, I got the double lengths. So when I'm trying to work the part threads in, they were going for hundreds of stitches. But to be fair, if you look, I mean, there were hundreds of stitches of said colours. So it actually went really quite quickly. I mean, there was one morning, I think I got like half an hour before the kids were due to wake up from school, and I was just having a cup of tea, and I thought I'll just pop a few stitches in. Next thing I know, I'd done 180 stitches in like half an hour. I thought, wow, where did that time go? And where did all those stitches go? Because it flew by. But really impressed with the progress on this. So this is obviously the first cat at the top. This is, I'm saying her tail. And then down here is actually the cat that's sort of below her. But my intention with this one is to work page by page, going along and then down and along. There's a lot of stitches in this. The goal for this piece for this year is to complete 2 pages. So I've completed 1, and we're not even halfway through the year yet, so I'm very pleased with that. I think I'm on track. May even get more than 2 pages in, which would be absolutely wonderful. But yeah, Ragdoll Eden, looking lovely. Lots of blues and greys all in there. But yeah, it's another pretty one, but it's going to be massive, this one. It's going to be absolutely massive. I think it is my biggest full coverage. Yeah, I don't think I've got one that's big. I don't think, no, Time of Butterflies isn't as big as this. So really this one should probably be on the scroll frame, but I'm quite happy working it in the Q-snap. Something else might be going on the scroll frame soon, and I'll talk about that later on in plans as well. Right, so again, 3 days went on that one, but they were midweek days. They were a Wednesday, Thursday and a Friday, although the Thursday, looking at my diary here in front of me, the Thursday was actually my Thursday day off, which is probably why I got quite a lot in it. My working pattern is that I have every Tuesday off and then every other Thursday off, because every other Thursday is a payday at my place. Because I'm in construction, they pay our guys every 2 weeks. I personally don't get paid every 2. We have 2 payrolls. We have a 2 weekly payroll and a monthly payroll. So office staff are monthly payroll, and the on the sites guys are 2 weekly payroll. So every other Thursday we do a payroll, which is this week. So this is my only day off this week. But next week I'll be off on the Thursday. So I do look forward to those days, because if I don't have anything planned, it's perfect for stitching. Kids are at school, husband's at work. What could be better? I get my jobs done, my housework and laundry and everything, and then I can sit and stitch and catch up with stuff on the TV, which is always nice. Right, the next one I've got to show you is my new start. Now then, I went to the Essex Needles retreat and saw this for the first time there, and then I saw the finished article on the same lady's Flosstube, and that's Stitchy Rach. So Stitchy Rach was stitching this piece at the Essex Needles retreat, and I didn't pay, I mean, she was down the table from me, and I'm not one of these people that goes wandering on retreat. I tend to stay in my spot and stitch, whereas some people spend the whole time just walking around looking at everything, which is absolutely fine. You know, your retreat is what you make it. I like spending the time stitching. I love the fact that I can just sit and stitch and stitch and stitch, and, you know, people feed me. And I don't have to do any housework, and you know, I'm allowed to just sit, and all I have to do every now and again is get up and make myself a cup of tea and come and sit down again and stitch again. But I did see Rach down the table from me stitching on this piece, and I was a bit intrigued by it. And then it was Somi Sarah, also on Flosstube. she's finished it, and it turns out it was a stitch along. It was started, I believe, November last year and finished April this year. So it's not been a long stitch along, only sort of 5-6 months. I think based on, it must be 6 months, and they must have released 2 parts a month. I think, yeah, every 2 weeks she must have released a piece. But the more I've seen of it, the more intrigued I got by it. And then I started searching it on Instagram, and I must admit, there weren't many finishes on Instagram for it. But I went and I found the pattern was free, and that was it. Rabbit hole fell down well and truly, and I started it. So the piece I'm talking about is, I'll pop in a picture here because I haven't got any sort of cover sheet, but it's called A Celebration of Colour Sal, and it's by, I'm looking over there, Ross Clark Crafts. Yeah, because I've got it up on my Lowry magnetic board. I've got the one I'm working on at the moment is up there. But I loved this. It's a geometric design with all the colours of the rainbow in it, and I've never stitched anything like that before, and it just appealed to me. I like colour. I've always been into colour with being a crochet artist. I mean, I don't do as much crochet anymore, but I used to be quite prolific at putting together colour combinations and using the whole spectrum of colour to put together beautiful rainbows and things like that. So this one really just appealed in some way. So I mean, I've got a full master set of DMC. So I watched Ross's videos on it where she introduces it and talks about colour. And I decided to go with the pastel colourway, which she did show on the introductory video. Because straight away when I saw it, I mean, I've seen it in some bright colours and some more darker jewelled colours from Stitchy Rach and Sew Me Sarah. And straight away I thought, I wanted that in pastel. I like the idea of a pastel rainbow. The only thing that didn't appeal to me was the yellow borders. At first I couldn't figure out what colour I was supposed to do these borders in. I could see everybody seemed to have done them in yellow. But I was like, well, which shade of yellow? And it turns out it's the shade of yellow that you pick. And I just thought, I'm not so keen on that. So I've gone for grey. I've got my pastel rainbow, you use some black, and then I've gone for a light grey to do the borders. So let's show you where I've got to. I've nearly finished clue number 2 of 12. So that's 2 colours out of the 12. And this is where I'm at. So I'm really quite pleased with this. Fits nicely in my my nudge hoop as well. Although I do want the next size up nudge, I've decided, because it is a bit tight on the margins. I've actually got it so I'm stitching in the well, as they call it. So normally I would put my nudge on this way round, where the fabric is, the space is bigger on the front. But because of how close my margins were, I've turned it that way around, and it makes it far easier to end your threads on the back. So stitching, this is called stitching in the well, if you've not heard of that before. But yes, I'm 2 colours in. So I've put in what we call the red purple, which is this lighter pink on mine. And then I'm nearly finished putting in the red, which is this colour here that's at the top. And each piece of the pattern has some of the frame in it to make it easy to count to where you need to go. And I've been stitching on this 3 evenings now, and I finished part 1, and I've nearly finished part 2 already in just 3 evenings work. So I'm really, really pleased with how that's come along. Love looking at my rainbow. I'll pop in a picture of the Instagram post I put up with my colours spread out so you can see which colours I'm using. And yeah, I've got no idea what I'll do with it when I'm done. I might take it to work and put it on my desk or something. Finish it as a flat fold, maybe, something along those lines. Just really, really liked it, and I'm enjoying stitching it. And it's fun. It's a fun stitch. So I thoroughly recommend this one. If you fancy something along those lines, give it a go. Because at the moment the pattern is still free. You have to go onto Ross's Instagram, so that's Ross Clark Craft. Go on her Instagram and click on the link in her bio, and she has all the parts there free to download. And I just downloaded them to my Google Drive, and then I printed off the first 3 to start with, and I'll print off them as I need them. But yeah, really pretty. Really liking that one. I haven't seen if it goes into Pattern Keeper. I decided not to bother because it's quite a simple pattern. I'm not even marking it off on the paper. I'm just following it because it's really easy to count. She's actually done something unusual with the pattern on this. in that she's done the grid in 5x5 instead of the usual 10x10 that we used to. And it makes counting so much easier. I'm like trying to, and that sounds really silly because, you know, if you've got 2 full squares and then 2 full grid squares and then 3 more blocks, you know that's 23. Whereas when it's in 5s, it's quite a few more grid squares. But I've just been going sort of 5, 10, 15, 20, there you go, that's how many it is. And it's just, I don't know, my brain seems to prefer it in the 5x5 grid. But it's unusual, so I better not get used to that. Because this is the first chart I've come across where the grid is in 5x5s instead of 10x10. But yes, any questions about that, then please comment below and I'll try and answer them as best I can. But yeah, the best person to go and see is Flosstube Craft on Instagram. She has her YouTube as well, so you can go and see it on YouTube. Right, oh, I'm waffling so much. My throat's gone really dry again. Okay, what we got next on the pile? Apologise about the crinkling. Next one on my pile is Opening Gambit by Long Dog Samplers. I have smashed my target already for the year with this one, and I do honestly think I'm going to finish it because it is coming on so well. So I'm stitching this on a 32 count even weave in Dove Grey, and I'm using the colour 3809. Ooh, I've only got 4 left. I think I had 13 when I started. 4 left, but I think I've got loads, because you'll see. Popping a picture of what it looked like last time you guys saw it, and I'm going to have to lean back here. Here it is now. So, as you can see, it's getting less and less. It's over 80% complete. I think it's over 85% complete, actually. And I haven't got that much more to do. So, obviously, I've been working there in that section there. Here. I don't know if you could hear that then. That was Gizmo chirping. I was talking to Bailey. Hi Bailey, are you going to come and say hello? What have I got to say about Opening Gambit? So this is 2 over 2 on 32 count, even with, as you can see, I haven't got massive margins, but I've managed. I will manage and I will be able to frame it. And Gizmo, what are you talking about? He's proper noisy all of a sudden. He was asleep. But yeah, this is just going great guns. I love working on this. I need to decide which long dog I'm going to do next because I've enjoyed this one so much. And I want to do another one in silks. I want to get some of, is it Silks For You on Etsy, where they sell the big hanks of the gorgeous coloured silk. And I need to pick a colour and pick a silk and then pick a design. But yeah, I want to do another long dog because I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. I'll just pop these bits to the side so I'm not crinkling too much. Ah, I didn't waffle about that one, did I? I feel like I need to tell you more about it, but I can't think what. I'm stitching it for my dad. He still doesn't know. I've been very good at keeping that a secret because I've been stitching it for a couple of years now and he still doesn't know about it. And considering how often my dad is in this house, then that's quite a feat. Luckily, he has, bless him, he has this boundary for himself that he doesn't bother me on my days off because he knows I'm busy doing things. So, I mean, I know he's gone to visit somebody in the family up north today, so I know he's nowhere near around. But yeah, he deliberately doesn't come and drop in on me on my days off unless he absolutely needs me because he's having problems with something he's returned on Amazon. Right, what have we got next? Oh, yeah. The next is my Prairie Schooler. This is Harvest Time by the Prairie Schooler. So that's this booklet where you get 3 charts, and I'm stitching that top one, the village, because I really liked this one. I'm stitching this on, is it the called for? I think it, well, virtually the called for. It calls for Ivory Ada 18 count, and I've gone for like a cream Ada in an 18 count. So practically the right one. Now I noticed a mistake on this one, and I'll talk to you about that one in a minute. Let me show you where we've got to start with, shall we? So let's organise it. I'll pop in a picture of what it looked like last time you guys saw it. and here it is now. So I've been working across the top and filled in that barn there. Can you see that? And then started on the trees. But yeah, the issue I had is that barn, the colour it suggests for the end of the barn, so this bit here, this darker end, they suggested sort of one of the darkest browns that you use in the tree trunks. And when I looked at the mock-up, and I spent ages looking, it just doesn't, it's not the dark brown in the cover picture. It really isn't that dark brown. And I sort of did my research and searched for, you know, finished versions of this on Instagram and things like that. And people that had done it exactly to the chart, it was really, really dark on that piece. And it did not look like the picture at all. And I decided I really didn't like that. So I actually just changed it. And I picked a lighter colour. I can't think which colour I picked. But I think that's a mistake in the chart. Or whoever did the model stitch decided they didn't like it either. It was too dark. But that's the only thing I've changed so far in this one. But I do absolutely love it. I just love that little scene. And I think it's because it's got the horse pulling the cart, which I haven't actually got to yet. But yeah, it's a fun stitch. It's cute. It's not. It's on Ada, so it's an easy stitch, which I like. You know, it's easier to count on Ada, isn't it? And it's 2 over 2. But yeah, I'm really liking that one. I should probably come and finish this house here next, shouldn't I? Because that's been left half done. But for some reason, I don't even know why I started on this side, because normally I start and I like to go left to right. I think maybe I started in the middle and then went over to the right instead of going to the left. But yeah, I can't fully remember actually where I started. I think I must have started in the middle to make sure I got the right width, and I think I have. I think there's plenty of border on that. Yeah, happy with how that one's coming out. I love the colours. Autumn's my favourite season, so anything with those, you know, browns and oranges and reds, although they're not my favourite colours. This is weird, isn't it? Autumn's my favourite season. I love it when the trees turn oranges and reds and browns, and just think it looks so beautiful, and I love stitching it. But those are not my favourite colours. I prefer blues and greens and purple. So, yeah, why autumn colours appeal to me so much, I do not know. But I like autumn's, I think it's just to say autumn's my favourite season. I love, I mean, I've got one down here, a candle going at the right. I love candles, I love getting cosy, I love hoodies. and I mean, yeah, this is, I'm going to talk to you about this later, but being a horse owner, autumn means nights drawing in and getting dark, and we hate that, but I love the nights drawing in. I love getting home from school and work and closing everything off, closing the outside world away, shutting the curtains, making the house warm, getting under blankets, and just enjoying that, you know, lighting my candles and stuff. I love that making it all cosy and nice. And you don't do that in spring and summer. I mean, winter's horrible. I hate winter. Winter's cold and freezing and horrible. But autumn isn't. Autumn's not freezing and cold. It's just right for me. And saying I love watching. We've got, I mean, I've got a big window just over there, and we look out onto what's called the Nutbrook Trail here where we live. And there's trees and grass and stuff, and nothing will be built in front of there. That is our view of trees, and we see birds of prey, we see rabbits, and there's ducks out there at the moment because it's so wet, and pheasants. I mean, we had a resident pheasant last year, I think it was, and he used to shout every morning, and then all of a sudden he stopped. So I've got a funny feeling the fox might have got him. But yeah, there's foxes out there, there's wild rabbits we've seen out there, and that's probably why one of my rabbits ended up myxomatosis. But yeah, I love it when it goes out there and it's autumn and it just looks so beautiful. I mean, it looks beautiful all the time. And in winter, if I'm inside and it's covered in snow out there, it looks beautiful as well. But yeah, autumn's my favourite season. I'm saying it here now. This is why I pick, when I started doing the Little Dove seasons, Little Dove Design seasons, I started with autumn. I've got Cricket collection to start. I've started with autumn. It's just my favourite. Oh, right, next. Oh, I was proud of myself for this one. So this is in the Christmas bag. You see? Beautiful Christmassy fabric. Made this bag myself. Ooh, clever, clever. I need to make some more bags, but I'm scared of the sewing machine. And I've used it so many times, but I always feel like I'm fluffing it up, and so I just don't get it out. And I'm worried about getting it out with Gizmo because he's into everything, and I'm going to have to shut him out the room, and he's been battering the door down, so I just haven't got the sewing machine out. Anyway, this is one of my bags, and in this bag lives a pattern by Emma Congan, Stitcherovia, and it's called Santa's Coming. So that's that one. Excuse me. So yeah, I've touched on a Christmas piece because I've been really struggling to motivate myself to work on this. Even at Christmas, it's like I fell out of love with it, but not so bad this time. Took quite a lot of progress. So I've actually switched out, and I'm using a few of my sort of fancy flossers for this one. I've got some Wheats Dye Works, some Gentle Arts, some Classic Colour Works. Just ones that I've had for other patterns, and then I've got lots left over, so I thought I used them. This is perfect for using. So all I did was get like the DMC out and then compare it to my fancy flossers and see which ones I could substitute. Although I must admit, some of them aren't really showing up, and I'd have probably just done it in the DMC, but never mind. So I'll pop in a picture of what it looked like last time you guys saw it. And I'm just going to fold my fabric. This is a beautiful fabric, and I cannot remember for the life of me where I got it from. There it is now. Look at how much I've got done on that town. I am well impressed with myself. I only had 2 days working on this, although one of them was a Tuesday, so it was my day off. But yeah, and this is, I say, this fabric's gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it. It's an opalescent fabric. So yeah, you're just catching that sparkle there. And yeah, I've been working on the town here at the bottom. It's 32 count, I'm doing it 2/2. Even on the fancy flossers, I'm doing it 2/2. And it's just, yeah, I'm enjoying it. And I'm getting close to my goal. My goal is to be 50% by the end of the year. And I think I'm at 45. So brilliant. Really pleased with how I'm smashing some of these goals. Just make sure I smash them on everything, yeah? But stop having new starts. But yeah, really happy with how that one's coming along, and I love the colours in it. Again, you've got the browns and the oranges, but there's also some pinks and minty aquary colours in there too, which are pretty. And I love the fabric, I really do. I know some people don't like stitching on opalescent fabric, but I haven't had a problem with this. Oh, it's a linen as well, it's not an even weave. I've got a funny feeling I got this at the Essex Needles retreat a couple of years ago, because I don't recognise the fabric at all, and I'm assuming it's a 32 count by the way the stitches are lying. But yeah, it's pretty. I think I did get it at the Essex Needles retreat. A funny feeling it was like in the raffle or something. But anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? It's beautiful. But yes, it is a linen, because I don't normally choose linen, but it's okay. I just, Needleman just stuck to my watch. Come here. Yeah, really pleased that I actually pulled that out, because I must admit, I sort of went, you need to work on Santa's Coming, you need to work, and I'd written it down. Oh no, I hadn't. Oh no. I've got a list of ones I want to concentrate on. These need work. And I thought I'd written it on there, but I haven't actually. I'm just looking at the list now, it's not there. But I thought, no, you need to, I think I went through my goals, and that was it. I looked at the back of my book to have a look at the goals. What do I need to work on? You know, we're coming up towards May now. What needs work? And Santa's Coming sort of screamed at me, you haven't worked on that this year yet. So I pulled it out. And that was only 2 days worth of progress, so I think that's pretty good going. Right, one more. Yeah, just one more. And that's in my pumpkin bag that I made myself. I'm really proud of this bag, actually. I really do like this one. And one of my zipper balls on it. And inside is just like a stripy fabric, as well as the pumpkin. Yeah, pumpkin fabric. same as it on the front. So this is housing Nora Corbett's Gwen. This is my only sort of spooky thing I've got on the go at the moment, because I'm not really a Halloween type person. But yeah, Gwen by Nora Corbett. I'll pop in a picture of what it looked like last time you guys saw it. And here she is now. So this fabric is a piece of 32 count by Sparklies called Dark Goddess. And I love this fabric. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous purples in there. And I love the way that green dress just pings off the fabric because it's so pretty. Yeah, so I've obviously been working on the dress, and it's, I think the outline of the dress is actually all done now, and I'm just filling in the middle. Some of the gaps you can see are going to be for beads, and then there's not an awful lot left. Just the framework behind her, and then the vines and the beads, and then some backstitch. But there's not much backstitch in this one, so we're good. Because I'm not a backstitch fan, as you'll know if you've ever watched me. But yeah, really pleased with how she's looking. I think she's a goal to finish this year, which will be brilliant, and then get her in a frame. How am I covered in cat hair? Cats didn't even come up. In fact, Gizmo's actually gone to sleep. Bailey's gone to sleep. Everybody's quiet, which is nice. Long may that continue. Right, what shall I show you next? I've got a crochet project on the go. So this is in my bee bag. I didn't make this bag. I bought this bag off Etsy from Nostalgia Knits. I think that's from who it's from. Or was it So Happy Creative? I can't remember. Anyway, I'll pop in a picture of what I'm making, because my friend sent me this. One of my friends, she's having a baby, and she said, could you make me this? Of course I can. And she chose the yarn. Talking crochet now, it's yarn. And she's gone for, I've got one of the balls here, so it's King Cole Cloud 9 DK, and it's in the shade Morning Dew, and I'm doing quite well on it. So there's a front and a back piece so far. So this is the back piece, and obviously it's a star shape. So, sorry, it's very difficult to hold up a star shape, isn't it? But the idea is that there'll be a hood at the top here, which is why this point of the star is a bit smaller. These are the arms, and then those are the legs at the bottom. And I'm now working on the front, which is what's attached. And it's a bit all over the place. But the idea is, it was worked in 2 halves to start with, and now they're being joined together, because here's my gap where the buttons are going to go to join it together. So that I'm now working on, just getting to the right size. And then I think, I don't know what, I need to look ahead on the pattern, but then at some point we're going to attach the 2 pieces together and then create the hood, and that should be it. But it's looking absolutely brilliant, really enjoying working on it. When I'm going around this as I am at the moment, obviously you can see I'm still attached at the moment. In fact, don't pull hard on that, it's not got a thread marker in it. That's quite easy to sit and watch TV while I'm working on this, so this is quite a nice one to do if I just want to sit and watch TV. Because sometimes when I'm stitching, I can't concentrate on what's on the TV. Sometimes it's fine, but it depends on what I'm stitching and what I'm watching. I'm watching a series on Netflix at the moment that somebody recommended to me, and it is right up my street. It's called Dark. It's actually a German programme on Netflix, and you can either watch it in German with subtitles, or you can watch it with English dubbed over the top. And that's how I'm watching it, because I'm usually something in my hand, so I can't read the screen as they're talking. But yeah, it's all about, I mean, I won't ruin it in case anybody wants to watch it, but it's about time travel and paradoxes and a town. It reminded me a bit of Stranger Things to start with, because it's all about this small town and kids have gone missing and there's something going on, there's a cave. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm close to finishing the 2nd series, but I can't stitch and watch it, I found, because I need to concentrate on it. It's one of those things that really makes you think. And you're seeing the same person in like 3 or 4 different timelines, and they're at different ages and things like that, and then they move around and trying to figure out who's who. You can't do it if you're not concentrating. So, but this, I can crochet and watch it, so I'm tending to stick to, when I'm doing that, I'll crochet and watch that. But it's not something my husband's into, so it tends to be like on my days off like this, if I'm sat, I've got time for myself to watch TV, I'll watch that and crochet at the same time. Another good thing that we've just watched on Amazon Prime, and again, it's not for everybody, this is probably really showing my tastes. Me and my husband finished it last night. We watched Fallout, which is, it's a game. My husband has played the game. I've never played the game, but it's all about, it's again like post-apocalyptic. It's weird, it's like set in the future, but it's the past. It's definitely set in the future because the year's 2140 something, but they've got like old cars from the 50s, but with modern twists and robots and things like that. It was good. I mean, it made me laugh in so many places because it's violent, but it's funny violent, because it's just like you go, whoa, Jesus, you know, somebody just, you know, he falls out of a helicopter into the blades of another helicopter. But all you see is this shadow of a body fall, and then there's just a red circle where he hits the blade and splatters. It just made me laugh because it was just laughable. It was, you know, so obviously not real that it's laughable in that sense. But yeah, I do recommend that if you're into that sort of thing. You know, not everybody is. I watch quite a wide variety of things. I mean, I can't wait for the next series of Bridgerton to come out. Bridgerton and Fallout are like this far apart. But yeah, I do recommend if you're into sort of, you know, sci-fi. I love anything post-apocalyptic. I love dystopian futures. I don't know quite why. I mean, I love the Divergent series. I read the books before I watched the films, and anything that's like a disaster movie. I like things like that. I don't know why. I don't know what that says about my personality. Right, purchases that are here. First one, I had this come from Crafty Emily, and it's a new needle minder. Now, I could do with, let's put it on here. And so that is a Dragon Eye needle minder, and it's a rainbow one. So I bought this for Chromatic Dragon, my full coverage piece by Pain Free Crafts. I've not worked on it this time around, but yeah, it's gorgeous. It's like a polymer clay with this dragon eye like marble in the middle, and then it's got another dragon eye on the back for your back magnet. But yeah, really like that one. Thank you, Emily. Crafty Emily's also got a Flosstube, and yeah, I got this off her Etsy shop. I was just searching for dragon needle minders, and that came up. Pretty. And then another one I purchased off Etsy is a piece of fabric. Look at this. Look at this. So I have taken it out of the bag, so I'll take it out of the bag to show you. It's an 18 by 27 inch piece of opalescent Lugana. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Pretty. It's like a sky, isn't it, with the sun behind it or something, I don't know. Pink clouds. Oh, beautiful. This is called Friendship by Paul Stitchers, and she sent me that. I bought that off Etsy, and it came ever so quick. Thank you so much to Paul Stitchers owner. I can't think what the lady's called, but yeah, that is an absolutely gorgeous piece of fabric. Now, I don't normally buy fabric unless I have a project that I'm getting ready to start. And this is another little bit of a rabbit hole that I fell down, and I'm blaming Sarah Stitching Mommy for this one, because she said I'm not going to do it, and I went, oh, I need to go and have a look at this now to see why you don't want to do it. This is the newest Frosted Pumpkin Sal. Every year Frosted Pumpkin, I think over the last might even be 14 years, Frosted Pumpkin hold a year-long SAL stitch along, and I've never done one. I've never even done a Frosted Pumpkin piece, but I know lots of other stitchers do, and I love seeing them stitched up. I absolutely loved Under the Sea Club, thought that was beautiful. Castle Homecoming Club wasn't necessarily my thing, but I like watching other people stitch it, that's fine. I think I really liked the Fairy Tales one that came out a few years ago, that was nice. Some of them don't appeal so much. I know there was one that was the national parks in America, which just didn't mean anything to me because I've not visited any of those national parks, so I've never been to America. But this one is the Arctic Animals Club, and yeah, Sarah's stitching mummy said it wasn't her thing, she could resist. So I just sort of went over to Frosted Pumpkin to go and have a look. I found myself watching a few YouTubes where they've announced the theme and they're showing little sneak peeks, because it's a mystery stitch along. They always do a mystery stitch along, so you don't actually see the finished piece until right at the end. But I decided I'm going to do it. I liked the Arctic animals, the puffins, the seals, there's a narwhal. They've just done a sneak peek where they show a hare, a little Arctic hare, and he's just chubby and cute, and he's got that little, you know, the typical Frosted Pumpkin style where they're really cute, little smiles, and I couldn't resist, could I? I've watched the Instagram lives, I've watched the YouTube live, and I ended up setting the alarm on my phone. I don't know why I set the alarm on my phone, because I actually didn't need the kit. Being in the UK, you can get kits for these from Homemakery, I think it's called, which is a UK based website, but I'm not bothered about kits. I have a full set of DMC, and I must admit the fabric they chose isn't necessarily one that I would pick for it. Well, it isn't, because I've picked this. Now, I'm not definitely stitching it on this. I do love this fabric, and I am going to do a floss toss on it, but I've ordered another piece of fabric from Lakeside, and it's a lilac. And I think that might work ever so slightly better. But I'm going to do a floss toss and have a look. I've also ordered the glow-in-the-dark petite treasure braid, because that's part of it. And I'm really excited to see that. And that's what I was hoping would arrive today, but obviously it hasn't. I wanted to show you that. But yeah, I am really excited. So I am signed up. I bought the PDF. I've got all the, you know, the startup info and everything else. I know when all the clues are being released. I've really thrown myself in with this stitch along because I've never done one before and I want to enjoy it. So the first clue is released on the 9th of May, but it's 5 o'clock California time, which they're about, what do I work out? They're something like 8 hours behind us. So 5 p.m, I think the email is supposed to be sent 5 p.m. So for me, that will actually be the early hours of Friday morning. Will it? Yeah, it will have just be like 1 a.m. Friday morning. So I can't start it on the Thursday. So that's going to be my Friday stitch. So I've even written it in the diary already. First Frosted Pumpkin SAL clue is out on Friday the 10th of May for me. So that is when I'm going to start it. So if any of you are starting it as well, please let me know. I'd love to follow progress. I want to see how other people are doing. I want to see what other people's fabric choices are if you've not gone with the cord fall that comes in the kit. I mean, the kits were gorgeous. The kits were really, really nice, and apparently they sold like hotcakes. I think 18 minutes and they'd sold out of kits, and they over-ordered based on past SALs, because they know how many roughly people take part with. You know, they have a good idea. They've been doing it a while. They over-ordered on their kits and they still sold out so fast. So people are really getting on board with this SAL, and I cannot wait. And if any of you are getting FOMO, Sarah, you said you weren't going to do it, but I think you might. I think you're going to see the rest of us stitching on it and you're going to get FOMO. So Sarah, please join us. But yeah, anybody else who wants to stitch it, please go down to Frosted Pumpkin's website. I do believe there was an early bird offer for the PDF, and I think it was $8.95, or am I thinking of the pounds? I think it might have been £8.95, something like $10. It was much cheaper, and I think it's now gone up to something like $12.95, and then in another couple of weeks it'll be its normal price of $15.95. But yeah, I think £8.95 I paid for it, which is really cheap for a year-long sale. It really is. I mean, I know I'm doing the colour, the Celebration of Colour sale, that was free, which is wonderful. But yeah, I'm doing a frosted pumpkin for only £8.95. Brilliant. Although, saying that, I have spent money on 2 fabrics and the Petite Treasure braid. But yeah, I can't wait to start that. So that's a couple of weeks away. I'll be able to start that, and that'll be really good fun. And last bit of haul I'm waiting for as well, but I only ordered this at the weekend. Yeah, it's only Tuesday. I did this, it was Saturday night. Agnes Little Minders did a release of the Monarch Butterfly collection on Saturday night at 9 PM UK time. And again, these flew out the door, absolutely flew. I had an alarm set on my phone, and as soon as it hit 9 PM, I went straight from the email into her shop, because she did actually give us a discount code, which was wonderful. And I knew, I'd already looked at the collection, because again, if you join her newsletter, she sends out an email 24 hours before the release to show you what's going to be in the release. So I'd had a good look at all the photos, and that was my first choice, that's my second choice, that's my third choice, and if I can get one, you know. And then after that it was like, well, I wouldn't mind one of those and I wouldn't mind one of those. But luckily I did get my first choice, and that's a beautiful, I'll pop a picture in here, crystal dragon. It wasn't cheap, there was a discount code on it. I wouldn't normally spend this much on a needle minder, but I've been hankering after one, and when I was sat next to Mary at the Essex Needles Retreat, there was one in the raffle, and I really was like hankering after it, and I didn't win it. But she gave me permission to buy myself one. She says, you deserve it. Buy things now while you're working, and you can afford to, because once you get older and you retire, your budget becomes limited, and you know, you can't always treat yourself to these nice things. So Mary gave me permission to buy it myself, and I did. And I've treated myself to this beautiful needle minder, and I just needed to arrive now. So I would think that beautiful needle minder is probably going to go on my frosted pumpkin, because I haven't ordered the frosted pumpkin needle minder. So that's haul that's coming. Right, I think just to let you know about my news. So let's start with Bailey. Bailey is doing well. They still don't know what's wrong with him. We got the results of all the blood tests and the ultrasounds and everything, and nothing really came up. They mentioned mild kidney disease, but nothing unusual for his age. His urine was clear, his bloods were clear. They can't find anything wrong with him. This cat's cost me an absolute fortune for nothing to be wrong, other than he's lost loads of weight. So they put him on appetite stimulants, which I think I told you last time I saw you. And he's still on them, although we're pacing them out now. So it started where he had one of these tablets every single day, and then I went to every other day, and now we're on every third day. So he had one yesterday morning. So he's not due one this morning, he's not due one tomorrow morning. He will have one Thursday morning again, because he hates taking tablets, but they do work. I must admit, he had one on Friday morning, and I was working from home Friday, and I kept seeing him every 20 minutes. He'd come back in the kitchen and have something to eat, and then he'd clear off again, then he'd be back again and have something to eat. And so they really are making him hungry and making him come and eat. And he has put weight on. I don't know how much yet, it's visually obvious he's put weight on. So I was in my vet's the other day, because my best friend works there, and I just dropped something off, and I'm going to arrange to take him in and get him weighed soon, so that we can see what he's gained, which will be great. But he's happy. I mean, at one point he looked so old and down, because he was just so quiet and constantly sleeping. I mean, cats sleep a lot anyway, but he was sleeping more than a lot. And when you saw him when he was awake, he was just disinterested. And now he's happy, he's rubbing all over me, he wants to play, he wants fuss, he wants treats, he wants food. So fingers crossed, whatever it was that caused the issue, we've fixed it by making him eat again, and he feels better. I did ask the vet if he could be depressed, and he said it was highly unlikely, especially to lose that much weight, but they can't figure out what was causing it. And it cost me £3,200 to find out that they don't know what's wrong with him. So Bailey is insured, all my cats are insured, but Bailey, being an older cat, is only insured for £2,000. So I've had to pay the rest. So bless him, my lovely dad, who I mentioned earlier, I paid something like nearly £500 over the course of a few weeks. And then my dad's covered the rest of the bill, which was another 720 odd. So I owe my dad. So I am paying him back. It'll be month on month, sort of about £100 a month to pay him off. So grateful to him. But bless him, my dad absolutely adores Bailey, so that wasn't too much of a hard decision for him. And my dad was with me at the vets and everything. He drove me down to the vets at Solihull and was with me when Bailey was having investigations done and things. So thank you, Dad. Really grateful that you could help us. But yeah, we've totally maxed his insurance. He now isn't covered for anything to do with his stomach or his liver or his kidneys. But yeah, he's still with us. We're calling him 3 Grand Cat because of how much it costs. And yeah, that's a lot of money for not knowing what's wrong with him. But I'm grateful that he's eating again and he's still with us. The other piece of big news is, this is going to come as a bit of a shock to some of you. I'm giving up the horses. I'm giving up on Sunday. Sunday is the day. I gave my friend a month's notice. So just after I'd filmed last, which was actually only 3 weeks ago, wasn't it? Which, yeah, I've got another week. But yeah, I've decided to give up the horses. I've stopped enjoying it. I haven't been enjoying it for a while now. I've stopped riding because I'm sick of injuring myself. Anybody that's been watching me a while, you'll know how many injuries I've had. I've had so many broken bones, and it puts me out of action. I mean, it's great because I often get a bit more stitchy time, but like I did when I broke my ankle. But I just don't enjoy it anymore. I really don't. I'm nervous. I've lost all my confidence. I just don't feel confident around the horses at all anymore. And I'm just spending, I mean, we've had the world's longest winter. We really have. I mean, the horses were in overnight last night again, so there's all mucking out to do again. They've been in their stables overnight since September, and we're coming up for May. And it's just been so wet and cold and horrible weather all winter that it's just been the hardest winter I've ever known. It really has. And it's just soul destroying. I'm just constantly covered in mud, wet, and just mucking out stables. That's all I'm doing. I'm just mucking out, and I'm paying to do it. Which, in the end, I just, why am I doing this to myself? Why? While I'm there doing it, why am I doing this? What enjoyment am I getting out of this? And I just realised that I'd had enough. I've absolutely had enough. Don't know if it's a definite permanent thing, as in will I return to horses in a few years maybe. Obviously I've got my younger daughter Aria who rides. We've worked things out. Excuse me. I did half own Dexter with my friend, but again he's had a load of vet bills recently. He's got some real infections going off in his lungs. He's full of mucus, so he's had the vet out a few times and we need another visit, so he's been expensive. So I've made a deal with my friend and she's going to have him, and she's also covering his vet bills. I'm just walking away basically, but we've agreed I'm not going to be a stranger. If they need my help desperately, I will go and help. We've agreed that Aria can still have lessons. She only has a lesson about once a month anyway, and they've said they're happy for her to go up and have a lesson on one of the horses once a month, which is brilliant. Aria, I was going to quit Pony Club. We were going to quit the Pony Club because we don't do an awful lot of it, but a couple of weeks ago Aria took part in a horse and pony care competition. She was asked to make up numbers. They needed an 8-year-old to make up the numbers because part of the rule, it was teams of 3 and one of the kids must be 8 or under. And so Aria being 8, she's 9 next month, but it's the year, it's the age they are on the 1st of January. So all of this year she's classed as 8. And she took part in this horse and pony care competition. I agreed she could go because they were making up numbers, and it turns out it was a qualifier. 21 teams of kids from all over the area took part, and Aria's team came second and qualified for the championships. So in August we are go down to Off-Church Bury, which is in Leamington Spa, and take part in the JCB and Blue Cross Pony Club Championships. I'm just absolutely gobsmacked. I had no idea that that's where this competition was leading. I mean, I never thought for a second that they would qualify. I just thought they were taking part and it was just a bit of fun. But no, she's got it qualified. So yeah, she's going to be in this horse and pony championship for Pony Club. So I can't quit Pony Club because the team needs her. So we're just going to go back down to non-ridden membership. She was originally a non-ridden member at Pony Club, and then we changed it to ridden membership, although she's barely done any of the ridden stuff apart from Pony Club camp. So, and it costs a lot more to be a ridden member. So I've said we will go back, once her membership's up for renewal in July, we will go back down to non-ridden membership, but she can still do these horse and pony care competitions. So she's really pleased about that. But yes, generally we are not going to be going up to the yard every evening, which is what I want. We are instead going to take part in more, I like to do fence judging, same as Crafty Kirsty. If you've watched her before, she does the same as me. We go, although she does it at a slightly higher level than I do, I'm working my way up to it. But we fence judge and for the national and international competitions in this country, which is great. I've got an international on the 4th of May over at Osberton Horse Trials, which will be great fun. Me and Aria are fence judging there, so we've still got lots of horsey input, but I haven't got to go and muck out day in day out and be really fed up about it, because that's where it's got to. I just don't love it anymore. And horses are too expensive, too much hard work, and just they take your soul. They really do. And if you don't enjoy it, you can't keep doing it. You really can't. So that's my big life update. Other than that, everybody's well, everybody's fine. Cats are fine, as you know, I've just done a Bailey update. Children are fine, and we're just getting on with life. Oh, the only other thing I should mention, Aria's took up hobby horsing. She had her first hobby horse competition on Sunday and absolutely loved it. She didn't place, she wasn't quite fast enough, but yeah, she was running around on a hobby horse, and I said, actually, I can get on board with this kind of show jumping. This is great. There was no mucking out, there was no grooming, no bathing, no plaiting. We literally got in the car, drove to the venue, so I didn't have to go and get the trailer and pick the horse up. Straight to the venue. We actually hired a hobby horse for the first time. She's having her own for her birthday. He's on order. But yes, we've got a few hobby horse competitions sort of lined up over the next 3 months. There's a big championship in November so that she needs to qualify for, and I found a qualifier that we could go to in July. So we've sort of come out of one thing, I can relax and give myself some more time, and now we've gone straight back into another thing. But I felt really guilty making Aria give up the horses, although I shouldn't have done, because for ages I've been pushing myself to keep doing it for her sake. And then in the evening I'd be like, Aria, are you coming up the yard with me? No, I'm staying in, it's raining. And I'd end up going up the yard on my own to go and muck out in the rain, because the child wanted to stay at home and stay in the warm and dry. So yeah, we've gone from real horses to hobby horses. Hobby horses are far cheaper and easier. Right, I'm going to stop here because I've just tipped over an hour and my throat's getting dry and it's lunchtime. It's 12:30 now, so I need to get some lunch and I need to hang up some more washing and edit this video and fetch the children, and we've got Pony Club tonight. And, oh my god. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you like what you see. Keep an eye on my Instagram. I'm starting to post a bit more often. I'm Little Grey Hook on Instagram. And I have been posting there a bit more often because I did get a bit lax at one point. So keep up with my progress on Instagram if you want to. I shall see you all soon, probably be about another 3 weeks, I would think, after Frosted Pumpkin South started. Perhaps once I've done the first, and then I'll show you. But Excuse me, I'm getting a dry throat. I shall talk to you all soon. Take care, guys. Enjoy your stitching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.